right? Our goals, we need to set those big goals. Our goals got to be so big that we can't even afford those distractions. What up, y'all? It's your boy Rainy No Excuse, and welcome back to another episode of Cut the Excuse. And man, I appreciate all the feedback and support from the intro video to the last video. I'm super excited to continue this, man. And the way you guys reached out, I'm filled with joy. And I'm happy I actually took the dream that was in my head and put it in fruition. And I'm excited, man. You guys made me super happy. But today's a super important topic, and this is why I made it a solo episode, because I want to make sure that 2024 is intentional. I want to make sure that we grow together, and we go on the right path, and we make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do in the year of 2024, right? And I don't want those excuses. I don't want the distractions. I want to make sure we set those goals and we get those, right? I want to make sure that every episode we improve. Every episode we get better, right? So I got to make sure and cover these few topics, because I want to make sure that we are on the same page, right? So in 2024, it has to be intentional, right? But at the same time, I think we need to understand what our own definition of success is. And we all have different ideas of what success is, right? And some of my ideas of success come with like financial freedom. Some of those come with spending time with family, making my own schedule, making sure I have time to do these extravagant things with my friends, like any time of day. Like that's my like, what is your definition of success? That's a few things that's in my category of success that I think defines why I'm going so hard, right? And you need to have your own definition of success. And everybody's definition is not the same thing. So that's understandable, but what is your definition of success? What does success look like to you, right? Does that look like more family time? Does that look like a certain number in your bank account? Like, what is success to you? And I think we need to define exactly what success is to us before we really go hard into those goals. Like, what is success, right? And that's how we can navigate the goals and what's right for us, because everybody's success is not the same. So we need to define what is my version of success. Then we need to go to the why, right? And this is my favorite, because we always hear, what's your why? What's your why, right? But it's super important, and I don't want it to go overlooked. And the reason being is because your why will get you through those bad days. And I put quotations because I had this speech and I talked in front of some kids one day, and I told them I don't really like the term bad days, right? I don't really go by bad days, right? I go by bad moments. And the reason being is because my why is so important and my goals are so big that I can't really afford too many bad days. Like, I can't afford too many bad days. Like, I have bad moments, right? And I want to put this through your head, because I believe the same for you, is that we have bad moments. We don't really have too many bad days. What we do is we have this bad moment and we drag it along the entire day, which makes that our bad day, right? And when you have these big goals and you have this big why, we can't afford those bad days. We can afford the bad moments, but we can't have those bad days, right? Because most of our bad moments that we drag out don't really matter tomorrow. Like, that bad moment don't really matter in 3 months. That bad moment it don't matter next year. Like, you gonna forget about that bad moment. But what we do is we take that bad moment and we drag it along all day. And I have this issue sometimes too, right? That sometimes I have like anger issues that I'm working through in therapy, whatever. But sometimes I have this switch where I take this bad moment and I drag it along for too long. Like, I over exaggerate it sometimes. And like, sometimes those moments don't even matter tomorrow. So like, what's the big deal? Like, we drag that bad moment and make it a whole day's worth. Like, that's time that we could have used on something else. We can't afford those in 2024. We can't afford those, bro. Like, we can't. Our goals are too big. Like, we got to grow. Our goals are too big. Our why is too big. We can't afford that, bro. And those bad moments, we have to let that be and then move on, because we got to get back to the grind. Like, that's why I need that why to be super important to you. Like, what's your why? Like, what's going to wake you up at 4, 5, 6 a.m.? Like, what's going to do that? Because nobody wants to do it. Let's get that out of our head. Nobody wants to wake up that early, right? But my why, like, I got to. Like, my why is too important. Like, if I don't wake up and I don't put this work in, like, I might regret that, bro. And sometimes you can't get that regret back. Like if I don't wake up at this time and put that work in, I might not get that time back. I might not be have the same opportunity. I might not get the same chance. Like I gotta wake up and do it, bro. And my why is what gets me up. So like, what's your why? What's gonna wake you up in the morning when you only had 3 hours of sleep? When you only had 4 hours of sleep? Like what's gonna wake you up? Like what's gonna get you out of that bed? Like everybody they gonna hit that snooze too many times. We can't afford that though, because we got these big dreams. We got these big ambitions. Like what's gonna wake you up, man? What's gonna wake you up? That's your why. That's your why. You need that why. What is your why? It gotta be something bigger than you, bro. My why is bigger than me. Cause I ain't even gonna lie to you. If it was up to me, I would have hit that snooze a lot. I would have stayed in bed a lot more if it was up to me. But it's bigger than me. Like I'm fighting for a little bit more than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got family, like I got big dreams, I got big goals, I got people to look after. Like it's a little bit more than me. Like I gotta get up. Like I gotta get to that grind, bro. Like I was just sleeping on an airbed 2.5 years ago. I was sleeping on an airbed training clients outside, bro. You dig? Like I was just in the hood. Like you dig what I'm saying? Like I don't got time. Like I don't got time for that. I gotta wake up and get it. What's your why? That why gotta bring you through them bad moments so you don't have a bad day. What's your why? And I wanna make sure we understand that why is super important, and we gotta figure that out. We gotta figure that why out, man. So we got the success thing, right? So what's your definition of success, and then what's your why? What's your why, bro? You gotta get up. You gotta put that grind on. Like you got a bad moment, yeah, it's really not gonna matter tomorrow. It's not gonna matter in 3 months. It's not gonna matter in 2 years. Like that, leave that moment in that moment. Like just leave that moment in that moment. What's your why? Like we got something to prove. We got goals to make. We said we was gonna do this by this time. Let's make it happen. We staying on that one bad moment, and we bring it along for too long. We wasting time, and we can't afford that right now. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like we can't afford that right now. So what's your why, bro? What's your why? And we have to define these things, man. It's 2024. We need to be intentional. We need to be super intentional, right? And then the next thing is we need to start setting these goals. Like we need to start setting these goals, bro. Like what's the goal? And I need that goal to be big, cause these small goals that we be putting, like we can't do that. It ain't gonna make us wake up. It ain't gonna help us wake up. It ain't gonna help us grind. Like we need these big goals that some people might say it's crazy. That some people might say is like, oh, you ain't gonna get that. That's too hot. That's too much. You can't do that in a year. Who? We a little different over here at Excuse Killers. Like we a little different. Don't put your small mindset on my big goals. Like we gotta make these goals big. Like we gotta chase after something. We got to chase after something, bro. It's like this year we got to be intentional with the time, and we got to make sure we set these big goals and we understand why we setting it. We need to understand our why. We need to understand our success. Like I need all of us to understand what we're going after this year. What are we going after this year? What does our mindset look like this year? What does our time look like this year? What do the distractions look like this year? Like what's those distractions that's gonna take us off? Right? Our goals, we need to set those big goals. Our goals gotta be so big that we can't even afford those distractions. Like some nights you gotta hang it up. Like you can't be out every night. Like some nights you gotta hang it up. We got some goals, bruh. Some nights you gotta hang it up. We got some goals. Like, and then we got the why on top of that. Then we got our big why on top of that. Like, oh, we gotta work. We can't afford these bad moments. We can't afford these distractions. Like we need to be super intentional with the time this year. And I want to emphasize that so much. We need to be intentional with the time this year. Because we growing. It's time to grow. And when I said that in the introduction video, like it's not a game. We don't get this time back. It's not a game. I'm trying to push everybody to that next level. As many people as possible. I'm trying to help get to that next level. And we can't do that with the bad moments. We can't do that with the distractions. Like we need to lock in for real. This year we need to lock in for real. This is not a game. This is not one of those New Year's resolutions. This is our life. This is our life we talking about right now. This is our life we talking about right now. This ain't no game, man. This ain't no game, bruh. We can make change. We can make change, but we gotta be intentional. We gotta understand what's our definition of success. We have to understand what's our why, what's gonna wake us up in the morning, what's gonna push us, what's gonna drive us. This is not a game, because time don't come back. You do not get time back. Put the work in. You do not get time back. Be intentional with your time. And that's all. I'm going to leave that there for this episode. I'm going to keep this episode short because I want you to rewatch this. And I want you to share this with your friends. I want you to put this in a group chat because we can grow together. And I'm super, super passionate about that because I want to make so many people reach that next level that this is not a game. Make sure you understand this is not a game. This is your life. Put this in your group chat. Send it to your family members. Like, we need to be intentional this year. Like, when you send it, just type up, like, we need to be intentional this year. Let's be intentional this year. You my best friend. Hold me accountable. Let's be intentional this year. Right? Let's understand our why. Let's understand our why. Like, this year we need to be, like, it's a good start. We still early. We still could fix some things up, right? If you had a bad start this year, we still could fix some things up. It's not too late. But the time is now, though. The time is now. And I want you to understand that. The time is now. Be intentional, man. Cut the distractions. Limit those bad days. Make sure it's a moment and you don't drag that bad moment to a bad day. Understand your why. Understand your definition of success because everybody's definition is different. Everybody's definition is different. So understand that. And man, I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share this with your friends. Share this with your families. This year we are growing. This year we are being intentional. This year we are cutting distractions. We're going to be focused and we're going to get those big goals that we set out because we have big whys. You dig what I'm saying? It's your boy Rainy No Excuse. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Cut the Excuse podcast, man. It's been great. The feedback has been great. I'm super happy, but I need to say thank you to the viewers, to the watchers, to the listeners. Thank you so much, and let's grow, man. Let's grow. Hit that subscribe button. We got a community base. We got some good stuff on the way. I'm not gonna say too much, but we got some good stuff on the way. So appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all share it. And one thing for certain, one thing for sure, we will grow, we will cut the excuses, and we will be great. You dig? It's your boy Rainy No Excuse. We out.